Joining us all the way from Spain, please welcome Ms. Isabella Swarzinska. Hola, Isabella.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay.
Yes, we can see you and we can hear you.
Okay,
Stage is yours.
Let me share the screen and let's start. Okay, so yes, first of all, I would like to thank for the invitation to this webinar. And the main goal or the main topic that I would like to show you are the European innovations in practice based on the Robot Union program that I will also present briefly. So I will present you the Robot Union and also the funding box methodology to accelerate and to support the robotic startups. And also I'll present you, and that's I think what's the most interesting, the companies that we have accelerated that are from very different sectors, from agri-food to health to civil engineering. So also share with you who, and these are, I would say, like the top stars from the European level, because they were indeed selected from more than 400 applications that we had. So I think this is really well, we're very being close to define the top 20 of on the European level. And then also, of course, the last, I will tell you how to collaborate. And I'm Izabela Drażnicka, and I'm the coordinator of this Robot Union Acceleration Program that is led by Funding Box. So I will just start briefly from Funding Box, because this is the company that is leading the Robot Union program. So we've been working with the business and with funding since 30 years, and we are actually one of the biggest deep tech ecosystems in Europe. Okay, so we have a big community based on the entrepreneurs, investors, but what's the most important, innovative SMEs, so small and big companies. And based on this, we understand their difficulties. We are helping them to look for the investments and also to create the real business opportunities based on the European programs that we participate, like Robot Union. So here actually we are leading the consortium that helps them technically and in the business. And now we are in more than 50 projects like this, giving the grants for more than 100 million euro, okay, to the small companies that are developing interesting technologies, promising technologies. We also have this deep tech community. So for instance, the Robot Union one has more than 1,000 robotics SMEs that indeed we are having there the discussions, we are publishing the further opportunities. And also we specialize in the acceleration, and this is what I will also tell you how we did it in Robot Union. And for now we have around 200 startups accelerated. So that was in short about the funding box, who's leading the consortium. And now to the point, to the Robot Union. So as I mentioned, Robot Union is the pan-European acceleration program dedicated exclusively for robotic startups. Why European Commission decided to support it or to create something like this? It's because, well, I guess the audience is, you are indeed in the robotics sector, so you might know what are the difficulties, and also my previous speakers, I think they also mentioned some of them. But in general, well, it takes a long time, okay, to accelerate and to support the technology. So for instance, we also had we were supporting software companies, and the acceleration programs were much shorter. Because here in Robot Union, as we were supporting, we were supporting hardware solutions, it took much more time actually to integrate all the elements that were supported. They also need a lot of financing, so that is something that for them it's difficult, because until they reach the point where they can actually sell or enter to the market, they need really a lot of investment. And actually, sometimes it's also, that's what we are helping them as well to create the investment strategy that could help them to get to that point, and many more. Okay, so basically, robots are complex to design and create, and to get them to the market. So that is why the Robot Union has started. We have started in 2018. As I mentioned, we are founded by European Commission. So the consortium had more than 4 million euro to support those companies and to help them to grow. And we have selected 20 that were actually supported with the full acceleration services. And we did that with 14 partners. Okay, so it is a very nice example how business, investors, and technology are working all together. Okay, so I think this was a key, that it was not, we had 5 big research centers from different countries that were providing the technical support, but we also had a business school that was providing the business mentors from different countries, from different sectors. We also had the VC fund, like Chrysalix from Canada, but also Odense and Blumorpho that were supporting in the investment, in creating investment strategy, pitch, etc. And market take-up, so we also had the corporates from different verticals, like from manufacturing, from health, or from civil infrastructure, who were also help us, well, as these are the people on the market, they were helping us to identify the what is the market need, and if the technology that we are accelerating is actually going to get an interest on the market. And of course, we also had the dissemination actions. So the Mobile World Capital, you probably know them. So the foundation of the Mobile World Capital was helping us to disseminate the results. And the funding box that I presented earlier, we were responsible for the open calls, so organizing the competitions for that companies, and also for managing all the consortium. Okay, so getting all together. So with this, I think that was already a good start, that we gathered those 14 organizations to start the program. And now we are getting to the end. Okay, so that is why I'm able to present you the 20 companies. As I mentioned, there was a big interest, so it only shows how big interest there is in the robotics dedicated programs. And we actually have them to raise, I'm not sure if you know, the TRL, it's technology readiness level. And there are 10, I would say, in Europe we have the 10 levels defined. So the average TRL level that was raised per startup is 3. So it's quite big, because they raised from the prototype or being in the like laboratory environment, I would say, to already proof of concept made in the real market conditions. So that was actually a big success. And also they were able to raise the private investment, the jobs creation, so also involve like influence on the general market was also big, because they doubled almost their team, and of course valuation and revenue as well. The technologies that were mostly developed are system development or human-robot interaction, mechatronic and perception, artificial intelligence as well, because this is a big part, and I will show you that we have solutions. But I think the main help that they needed from us was from Robot Union program was the more hardware oriented. Okay, but we also had AI, and actually we also have a program for AI only. And these are also system abilities. So perception, navigation, adaptability, configurability, these are those that were also developed in the program. And how we did that, so the program lasts 16 months, so it's quite long, as I said, and we had, I mean, the main core of the program, we had a short phase for the feasibility study, so they were writing the short document just to show us if the plan that they want to do within the next months is feasible, and based on that, we actually made a cut. But then the key of the program is the product acceleration and business acceleration, which goes in parallel. And after this, which lasted 12 months, we were selecting 4, we call them superstars, that actually were entering with this technology and business readiness that they gained during the 1 year with us. We were also supporting them in the fundraising. Okay, so we were selecting 4 that were getting also a special focus on getting additional private funds. And as I mentioned, well, the key was the technical part, but of course the business one was working as well. But what is important, we were giving them the resources from the research centers, from the public research centers. So that's also important to know. It was quite difficult, but we made it. And at the end, but also there was plan, and we were also demanding some inputs from the startup. So this is important that we were giving, but there were also some requirements and milestones that they had to achieve. So that was also motivating them to actually grow. They were not just getting money and that's it. They had to do some progress to get the funding. And now to the point, I have a short video and I will just turn it on, and while I'm speaking, I will start showing you the companies, okay, because I think that's the most important part. Just let me share this with you. And okay, so these are the first 10 that we have supported, that already finished. The Nido Robotics. They have the underwater drone that they use mostly for the inspection. And their value, the main value is that actually is the price, but not only, it's also very easy to use. And they are currently targeting the oil and gas industry, as I mentioned, for the inspection, and they are in Spain and Chile. Aromatics in agri-food, they have an autonomous smart broiler robot that monitors air quality, health and welfare and equipment operation, and informs farmer or stock person via mobile alarms. Okay, and also they don't work only with chickens, they're also with the other animals. Kevazo, they're from Germany, and they have a smart robotic system that performs the flexible, cost-efficient and safe transportation of the construction sites. And they're targeting the digitalization of their methods and also the generation of the data. Clean from Denmark, they have a robot that proactively keep the vessel hues to clean from the bioorganism or in the shipping industry. And they help to save a fuel consumption and fuel by maintaining the fuel. Smooth Robotics. These are also from Denmark, and they enable any welding robotics operator to plug and produce their software, okay, to adapt the technology in a few hours. And for now, they're working in the B2B model by selling their software to the robotics producers, and that later. Okay, Somnox, sorry, it's going fast, but Somnox is the Netherlands company. It's actually the device that helps to fall asleep by breathing regulation of the person. Springa from Italy, and they produce CNC machines that make more affordable the creation of the furniture for boats or for some events. Okay, and it's very easy to use. So they are selling it individually, but also to the company. Tendo from Denmark, they actually have a robotic globe which increases the function of the grip. So they are now also developing in Asia. So I think it's also available for the market. Then we also have Unit Dose 1 from Health. So they are from Poland. And they work on the automatic hospital pharmacy that prepares drugs in the individual doses. So now also they had a quite big success in the COVID era that this could be done by the robot, and they are doing tests with hospitals in Poland and United States. And then the final one, Botsenas, they are having a fully autonomous service robot designed to interact with people. So they were doing testing in the centers, in the commercial centers, but they actually did the pilot in the Heathrow airport, and they're doing well. Okay, so these are the 10 solutions from the first batch. As you could see, they're from very different sectors, but it was really a pleasure to work with them. And if you are interested to get in touch with any of them, we are more than happy to make a contact. And let me share with you the second batch, so the last 10. of them. So they finished the acceleration in September, and some of them are now looking for the fundraising rounds. So first is from health industry from Poland, AFR. So they work on the multi-action bionic limb that can choose from 12 grip modes. Yeah, they're quite successful now in Poland and in India. Then Automato Robotics, they have autonomous single harvester for tomato, but also for other products, for other fruits. And what they have is that it's going without rails. So during the program, they actually increased a lot with the speed on harvesting tomatoes. Bini, the smart waste bin, now they're selling this device on the many markets, and also during the program, what they did is that you can throw out the garbage without touching. So this was also something improved and something very useful now in the COVID era. And they are from Poland, but working with many markets. Then the next one is cyber surgery from health. They are working with the spine operation. And as you can see, what is their added value is these screws that they can put, that they can support during the operation to make more precise, that help to during the operation in more precise. Formhand from Germany, they have a grip, flexible handling grip that can be used in many industries, which you can see actually in the picture. Then we have NX3D from Netherlands. They have a clear mission to introduce the advantages of the 3D metal printing to high impact industries. Okay, so they actually printed a bridge once that is now in Amsterdam, and they are working with different robotics brands. So this is actually very interesting technology that is now being developed by them, but also by many other projects. Proxima Centauri from AgriFoods, they are also quite unique. They're from Denmark, and they have a robot that helps the natural casings to be done by a human. And well, their strong side is that their CEO has a very strong experience in the pigs and casing industry. So this is actually the first machine that exists in this. Rebartech, so they have developed a welding robot for rebar, either in factory sites or on the construction. And Rigitech from Switzerland, it's a drone their drone delivery is concentrated on the blood transport. So this is also interesting, and they did many pilots in the last year. And their main business model is by selling the drones, but also with the easy way to manage or to pilot it. And then the last one, Rovens, also from Switzerland. They have robots that work in the security and safety monitoring of the industrial sites. Okay, so as you could see, they also did some pilots during the COVID for the hospitals and for disinfection, in which they were successful. And yeah, that were the 20 companies and technology that we supporting in the program. Let's just stop the video. There are also individual videos on our YouTube channel if you would like to see their success stories. And now I'm going back to the presentation. Just to close, okay, the lessons learned. So as I mentioned, it's very important. What was the successful in supporting these robotic startups was that everything goes together. So product development and technical support has to go together with the business and fundraising, because it's also it's going all together. It was indeed a challenge to match the research needs of the companies, because sometimes they are like finishing already one product but thinking about the new one. So for the big research centers that we had in consortium, sometimes, you know, the startups are going much faster than the big research institutions, and that was indeed sometimes a problem. And yeah, to make the availability of both parties to work together, but we made it. And also sometimes with the IPR, it is very important to make clear the rules from the beginning, but I guess, well, here everyone knows that. And yeah, it requires a lot of flexibility when developing the technology, because it was difficult to plan the 12-month program from the beginning. We had to be flexible, change KPIs and goals during the program. And that's about our methodology. If you want to get involved, we have a robotics marketplace where the technology providers and people that are looking for the contact with the community can publish their solution, the robotics solutions or services that the community could use. We are also very open to get you connected with one of the companies that I presented, either to invest, either to get connection, either to just talk. So this is crucial for us through the program. Then we also have more funding opportunities like Robot Union for robotics industry. For instance, we have a program where funding box is involved only for robotics in inspection and maintenance that you can also follow, or if you know someone interested. And we also have the program AI for EU. So this is also a European program dedicated exclusively for the AI solutions. So the model is quite the same, let's say, for the acceleration, support, etc. But of course, the technology is different, and many others. So that's why I invite you to check also the funding box. And yeah, in case if you're interested in organizing your specific challenge, you're looking to get connected to the market and with deep tech in Europe, you can also contact Funding Box. We are helping to scout the technology, to organize open calls through our platform, and also to define the acceleration services like we did with Robot Union. And yeah, I invite you to join the community, the Robot Union community, and to contact me if you're interested. And thank you for your time.
Thanks, Isabel. This is wonderful, and thanks to everyone. In fact, it's quite amazing what we've covered from the different technologies to see in Asia and in Europe, and more importantly, some of the key guidelines around what we should be looking at.